Hey everybody, welcome back to this this review. I would like to get to a point where I'm doing reviews more frequently if I can find more stuff to review. If anything, if you guys have anything in mind, write it down in the comment section. I've been out a while. As you can see, my previous videos did have COVID about a little bit over a month ago. Uh, just have a little bit of a light cough left, and check it out if you haven't seen those videos and are wondering what it's like to get Omicron. So, as you can see in the title, we're doing a review on MyHeritage. I was not, given this for free or sponsored or anything like that. To start off, why did I choose MyHeritage over my Ancestry or any of the other kits? The reason was not because it was cheap, but it was because uh, every single DNA company, these companies tend to have more DNA from a certain part of the world. So, for instance, Ancestry tends to be more towards Americans, so it has a lot more DNA from that area. So basically, it's the more DNA it has, the more approximately it could give you a more approximate of your DNA, where you come from, your makeup of who you are, and it's all an approximation. It's not clear cut. Like, what are you supposed to have if you're Irish? You know, four leaf clovers or Lucky Charms. I mean, the whole point is that you're basically it's an approximation. Countries are a man-made construct, so it really has to do it more of just general regions in the world, and evolution, evolving to be in that region of the world. Like, for instance, if you were in a colder region, um, what what about your DNA? Like, little aspects of your DNA that uh, have helped your ancestors live more or succeed more in that type of environment that is cold. For instance, like finches, I believe, like, they developed a specific beak in certain islands in Galapagos as opposed to other ones. I don't know too much about this, so I'm just this is my explanation, but it goes back to the DNA pool. Basically, MyHeritage has more European DNA pool than American DNA pool or Asian DNA pool. So, like, if I were to do a DNA test that has a largely Asian DNA pool, I may not get very accurate results because as far as I know, I don't have any Asian ancestry. And not many of you know, but I was born in Malta in Europe, so I don't have any American DNA. Like, I don't have any other DNA that has associated with American. I mean, American. I know DNA is. I mean, from American DNA in America is basically a pool from all over the world, but you want it to be from the closest area where you were born, where your parents were born, and so on and so on. I mean, if you had a combination, like your mother's from Europe and your father's from America, then I would go to Ancestry, right? So, because Ancestry does have a little bit of European stuff, but it's more towards the U.S. To get started, I have opened this before just to look at the instructions, and yes, the box is damaged. This is the second kit that I ordered. I ordered one for somebody else, and they just decided to send me a broken kit. I did try to contact them, actually, so I want to make sure that you guys know the full thing about this. I did try to contact them to see if they could actually were interested in doing a video, for me to do a video for them, as promotional, but also to review it. And I couldn't reach them. when I sent them an email, and then I don't know if I sent them an email, but I did call them, and it said the line was only for people who had bought their kits, which I just find kind of ridiculous. That you can't reach them unless you bought a kit. So it's actually an automated message too. So I just hung up. I don't know if I left a message. It's been a while. This was back in November, and I start getting a call back from them. Like it said, their number was calling me back. I picked it up. Nobody was on the other end. Hung up. Continued on what I was doing, and then I got another call within 5 minutes. Again, I couldn't hear anybody else, so I didn't get anywhere, unfortunately. And yeah, so and I did actually receive an email, I believe, and it was basically a rejection. I don't know if it was from them or from another DNA test kit, but yeah, and I want to make sure I go over the things to be aware of. So let me just start by opening it up. So here's the kit. Oh, yep. So you're gonna get this, and this is not in any order because I have opened this before. This is for you to keep. Do not put this in the envelope. And it comes with a little sticker that identifies the test tube with your DNA, just in case maybe something happens and they ask you what was the DNA test tube that you sent in, and you give them this number. These are the instructions. This is the envelope, right? And one of my questions was, do you guys provide shipping to return the DNA samples? And no, they do not. So as you can see, you just put a stamp here, which isn't bad. I thought it was going to be a lot more, like like $5, $10, which just gets a little bit annoying. How much did I pay for this kit? That's one of my questions. I have notes here, so I may glance over to them. I bought this for $39, $40. Why? Because they had a deal for Black Friday for $40. They do charge $5 for the shipping, but then I found a coupon code from another YouTube video, and they gave me free shipping. So it was $40 at the end of the day, which, hey, is pretty cheap. I think Ancestry is around $70, $80. I'm not mistaken. I mean, at least maybe for Black Friday it was. And yeah, so on my, breaking apart this kit, this is the where you're going to put your test tubes. And they ask you to put it in this cotton envelope thing, mabobber. So this is what we'll do, and you get 2 test tubes, one for your left cheek, one for your right cheek. Not in any, you could switch them as long as you have one for one cheek, one for the other cheek, and you have to swab them for 30 to 40 seconds. So I do need a timer at one point or another to make sure I'm swabbing for the correct amount of time. 1 second, let me look at one of the questions. So one of my things to look out to warnings for you is when you're buying this kit. I don't know if it was when you're buying this kit. At one point they ask you to click on something that says, "Hey, activate my subscription" or something. And just be careful because it's a trial, and then it charges you money. And it's for maybe a month. That's great. If you use it for a month, find out your DNA, information about your DNA, and then afterwards, you opt out. Because this thing is pretty costly for a year. I believe it was like $90 to $200 to $300. It's ridiculous to get access to the full family tree of information. I don't know what that entails. I'm learning as I go. So this is what I know up to this point, and I'm going to release this video up to the point of me swabbing my cheeks, putting it in here in this envelope, and sending it off. And then I'll make a video about the results, things that I like, maybe things that I don't like. I mean, I already am telling you things that I don't like. But again, it's a cheap kit. And so I don't know what how I'm gonna feel at the end of this. It's an experiment. I've never done a DNA test, so who knows? Let me see my notes for a sec. I think this is it. So those are all my notes that I wanted to mention. So what I gotta do now is I'm gonna get a timer on here just to get ready, or stopwatch. And what I'm gonna tell you is briefly, one of the first things they ask you to do in the instructions is to activate your kit. So you go on to MyHeritage/setup or something like that, and basically put in the code that we were talking about, which is this right here, and activate your kit. They're going to ask you a few questions if you want to be in studies or stuff like that. I did yes to all of them. I don't know if I'm going to regret it later. And basically then they ask you, like, what's your mother's name, what's your father's name, what's their parents' name. I thought this is kind of weird just because they ask you where they're born, and the whole point is that you're doing a DNA test to find out your DNA, right? And why are you asking where people are born? I did put it in, full disclosure, that they're born in Malta. I am curious about, if I left it blank, how if that would make any change in my results. I really would hope that this company isn't trying to scam people. But yeah, so onwards with this kit, they do ask you to not eat or drink or chew gum or smoke for 30 minutes before collection. I did eat about 40 minutes ago. I should be fine by now. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the swabs. So I'm going to start out, got these two, and I'm going to start with my left cheek. So why not? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the swab. You got to be careful not to contaminate it, or at least maybe that's COVID test kits. I don't know. So I'm going to start with the left, like I said. Have everything ready. All right, so I'm going to start the timer, and I'm going to rub this on your cheek. Make sure you get enough DNA on it so they could take samples. Alright, we got about 12 seconds left. I'm going to do a couple of extra seconds to make up for that. Have this open. Alright. You should be good. You see this line? We are going to install it, put it in here, and we're going to break it right at this line. There you go. Now we're going to put this in. And there we go. We got one done. Now we're going to reset the timer. We're going to do the other side. So, get the test tube for this one ready. Again, we are going to open this. Make sure not to contaminate it. And I'm going to open this to have it ready. Start the timer. And ready. I'm actually swabbing all over my cheek. I don't know. That's going to be better. Just to make sure. It's not just the cheeks, a little bit of the gums. I don't know. See how this whole thing goes. Like I said, I've never done this before. We got about another 5 seconds. Alright, we're good. I'm gonna do this. Put this in here. Break this. And there we go. Now we got both of them done. Now I'm gonna open this with the biohazard. And I'm gonna take this out. It's weird. Thought I was supposed to put this in there. It's odd. Let me see. Let me just reread this. Make sure the vial caps are closed tightly. Place both vials on the cotton pad in the clear bag and close the ziplock. Now place the bag in the enclosed address envelope and seal the envelope. Alright, so it doesn't say in, it just says on. Alright, thought it said in. Oh, let me just double check. This is sealed. We're gonna put it in here. Again, this is the number that you have. That's the same, or the code you have that matches the whatchamacallit. I don't know how you could put this on when it's a bit weird choice. How do you put this on in a bag? Alright, so we got this. Now the thing is right here. I don't think it ever says anything about a return label. I mean return. So just gonna put this in here. So you can see. Man, this is a tight envelope. And I think we just seal and put a stamp and we're good to go. Let me see. Make sure the vials are closed tightly. Cotton swab. Swab the other cheeks. Okay. Mail the envelope at your postage expense to our DNA lab. Yeah, so we're good to go. Just gonna take this little thing and put one of these stamps, and yeah, let's see. Now we're ready to go. So I will mail this out tomorrow when I get the results. I will put out another video about the results. Actually, I don't know if I'll look at them until I'm on the YouTube video, on the video. So that way we find out together where my DNA estimation is, because I think it's just an estimation. It's not a full 100%. All right, folks. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.